Thanks for staying tuned to Africa Independent Television and welcome to your program Security Watch Africa. Only on this channel we'll bring you that information you need to keep your life safe and secured. Welcome to your program today. This is your station, the Africa Independent Television, and my name still remains Patrick Abambo. Yes, today we'll be bringing you a collection of reports put together by our correspondents and our reporter covering the armed forces, the Nigerian Army, and security situation in Nigeria. So welcome to the programs today. Yes, because of time, we have to go straight to the report. First report for today will be a report put together by Shirley Daniels on what the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, is doing in terms of giving back to the society. Sit back as we bring you this report.
As part of giving back to the society, the Nigerian Army, under the leadership of Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, has continued to provide succor to citizens through the Nigerian Army Civil-Military Intervention programs. One of such many projects is the commissionings done in Sokoto State towards the end of 2022. The Army Chief commissioned water drainage, Nigerian Army Command Guest House, a mosque, and renovated blocks of schools, and many other projects.
I hereby commission this beautiful edifice of Command Guest House, Sokoto, to the glory of God and benefit of humanity. I hereby commission this mosque. I hereby, on behalf of the Nigerian Army and the Army staff, commission this very, very important project. MashaAllah. I commission this renovated Malam Saidu Nizamiya Primary School here in Sifawa, which is a civic military project carried out under the leadership of the Chief Army Staff by the Nigerian Army, and also the secondary school here for the benefit of our people.
At the commissioning of the primary school in Sifawa community, the Executive Governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwa, commended General Yahya and the Nigerian Army for not only making the state safer, but also helping to provide some of the basic needs of the communities.
From the Command Guest House Sokoto of the EDDIV to the Chief Army Staff Guest House to the mosque at the International Conference Center in Kasarawa to the drainage reinforced by concrete of kilometers of drainages here in Sifawa, and commissioning of the remodeled and refurnished Nizamiya and Girls Secondary School here in Sifawa. We're indeed grateful to the Sifawa community under the able leadership of our father and leader, the district head of Sifawa, for the warm reception accorded us since our arrival. We're also indeed very grateful, and we cannot say how happy we are with our own son, in whom we are very well pleased, our own, the Chief of Army Staff and his dear wife, and indeed the entire leadership of the Nigerian Army, for not only bringing the Chief of Army Staff Conference 2022 to Sokoto, but also finding it worthy to carry out numerous projects throughout the length and breadth of Sokoto State. As we speak, a team was in Gorenyo to commission a block in the General Hospital Gorenyo Pediatric Block. Another team was in Tangaza to commission schools blocks in Tangaza Township. Another team was also at Nizamia School in Sokoto, in the Nizamia area, Sokoto. And as I've said, we have commissioned this and several others, including mosques that are here in this very historic city of Sifawa. When Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari, appointed the Chief of Army Staff, of course, the entire state was in joyous mood and happy for it. We discussed with the Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, and we got to the Chief of Army Staff as to whether we could organize a reception in his honor. Typical of him, a very modest man, the Chief of Army Staff declined. And he said, I've just been given a very odious task of leading the Nigerian army at these very challenging times. What I need from you, Your Excellency, and His Eminence, my brothers and sisters from Sokoto, is your prayers for me to succeed. I believe God has answered those our prayers, and the Chief of Army Staff and the Nigerian Army, in collaboration with other armed forces and indeed security outfits in Nigeria, are working hard, and they are succeeding in overcoming our security challenges. We are indeed very proud of your achievement, not only of becoming the Chief of Army Staff, the first from Sokoto, but your achievement in leading the Army and other armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria in confronting these bad elements amongst us.
The Chief of Army Staff, in his remarks, commended his officers and soldiers for their sacrifices and selfless service to the nation.
I appreciate gentlemen officers of the Nigerian Army and soldiers. I commend and appreciate them for their loyalty and dedication. I appreciate and congratulate them for all the effort they are putting in the field and all across the theaters. And the result is speaking for itself. We are not there yet, but the trajectory is good, and we'll get there by the grace of God. I thank all of you, my people, Sarkin and Sifa, and all those I know who always wish me well, wish us well, who pray for us. God is answering our prayers, and we are most grateful.
As the year 2023 begins, the Nigerian Army has pledged to continue to ensure that Nigeria remains a safe nation for all law-abiding citizens. Shirley Daniels, reporting for Security Watch Africa.
Welcome back. That is indeed winning the hearts and minds of the people of Sifawa and the entire Sokoto state. In fact, it's a way to go so that we can win back our communities. That is what Security Watch Africa preaches. They need to reach out to the people so that they can pledge their loyalty to the government. Kudos to the Chief of Army Staff and his team there. Yes, we'll go straight to the next report, which is also from the Defense Headquarters, where Elizabeth Tanko tells us what happened when the Defense Media Operations gave account of what the Armed Forces of Nigeria has been doing in the last 3 weeks. Sit back.
The troops of the land and air component of the Armed Forces of Nigeria have continued to sustain offensive operations on terrorist enclaves, camps, and hideouts within the 6 geopolitical zones of the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Damadami, during a media briefing this Thursday, highlighted some of the successes of the armed forces, stating that all is being done to ensure terrorists and other criminals are brought to book.
Troops in the northeast zone of the region recovered 21 AK-47 rifle, 4 FN rifle, 3 locally made pump-action guns, 3 locally made pistols, 3 PKT machine gun, 124 rounds of 7.62mm NATO, 139 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special, 29 rounds of 5.62 millimeter ammunition, 400 by 400 millimeter bomb, 1 unexploded 81 millimeter mortar bomb, 3 RPG tubes and bombs, 5 36 hand grenades, 5 10 guns, and 5 FN magazines. Troops equally neutralized 25 terrorists, arrested 18 terrorists, as well as 21 terrorist logistics suppliers, while 2 foreign terrorist informants were also arrested, as well as 5 kidnappers. Troops also rescued 47 abducted civilians, while a total of 377 Boko Haram and Islamic State of West African Province terrorists and members of their families, comprising of 52 adult male, 126 adult female, 199 children, surrendered to troops at various locations within the theater of operations.
The director revealed that there was a successful arrest of a notorious kidnapper, Kabiru Ibrahim, who was arrested at Kara Market, Bukuru in Jos local government area of Plateau State. It was confirmed that the suspect was responsible for the series of kidnapping in Plateau State, Toro in Bauchi State, and southern part of Kaduna State.
Troops acted on credible information and arrested a notorious kidnapper, Mr. Kabiru Ibrahim, who was on the wanted list of troops in Kara Market in Bukuru in Jos local government area of Plateau State, with a sum of 524,000 naira, 650 naira. It was confirmed that the suspect was responsible for a series of kidnapping in Plateau, Toro in Bauchi, and southern part of Kaduna State. Consequently, within the weeks in review, troops recovered 3 fabricated AK-47 rifle, 3 burnt AK-47 rifle, 5 burnt AK-47 magazine, 2 fabricated pistol, 1 Brownie pistol, 1,335 rounds of 7.62 NATO ammunition, and 38 Russell cartridges. Troops also neutralized 2 criminals, arrested 22 criminals, and rescued 8 kidnapped civilians.
Furthermore, General Domodami added that troops neutralized 7 indigenous people of Biafra, Eastern Security Network criminals, and arrested 6 in the southeast zone of the country, and some items recovered.
Troops recovered 4 AK-47 rifles, 3 den guns, 2 pump-action guns, 2 double-barrel rifles, 2 locally made pistols, 1 RPG tube, 3 locally made RPG bombs and tubes, 6 AK-47 magazine, 3 FN magazine, 2 MKT-2 magazine, 55 rounds of MK2 ammunition, 20 rounds of 7.62 millimeter NATO, 43 rounds of 7.62 millimeter special, as well as other items which were recovered from in the region. Troops also neutralized 7 indigenous people of Biafra and Eastern Security Network criminals and arrested 6. All recovered items and apprehended suspects were handed over to relevant authorities for further action.
At the end of the briefing, Major General Domodami commended the troops for their efforts, and a minute's silence was observed for fallen heroes who paid the supreme price for the country. With the numerous ongoing operations across Nigeria, all criminal elements are being tackled to ensure that peace is returned to every part of the country. Elizabeth Tanko, reporting for Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. Yes, kudos to the Armed Forces of Nigeria. I think we'll put together the highlights of some of those recovered items and those neutralized based on the zone. If it's ready, maybe we can see it on the screen. Like you can see over there, the Northeast, all the figures are there for you. In fact, some of them are very outstanding to really talk about. From Northeast, we also brought what is also recovered in the Northwest zone. You can see some of the people that have been rescued by the troops. You also see some of the recovered items and terrorists neutralized in the northwest and also in the southwest, in the southeast also. You will also see the various figures there to show you that the armed forces of Nigeria, they are really up their game. Also to the south-south zone, you also see so many recoveries, 854,500 liters of crude oil you recovered, and 1,055,000 liters of AGO also recovered from those who are the economic saboteurs. Really so much achievement by the armed forces. Kudos to them. So let's go to the views of Nigerians on the streets, telling us how their assessment of security in 2022. Sit back as we bring you the report by Ernest Enuneku.
Some Nigerians have given their view on the state of security in the country in the just concluded year 2022. Security Watch Africa was on the streets of Abuja to seek the opinion of people on the security situation in the last 1 year.
We can't count the numbers of people that were kidnapped last year, the people that were killed, the people that so many people lost there. So imagine in my estate, they came and carried a man and his 5 children, you know, and they were looking for ransom. One of those days, the security people even saw the kidnappers going and they couldn't do anything. So if you ask me anything about security in Nigeria, I'll tell you it's porous, it's zero, and they are not doing anything. It is a terrible, in fact, it's as terrible as hellfire in Nigeria.
What we are talking about when we talk about security is not just going about Abuja. Can you go about in other places like what you do in Abuja? The situation is getting worse, for God's sake. Jonathan came, Obasanjo came, nothing.
So we are just working by God's grace. Like I said, there was no security. It's just God that is our security. As we are going out every day, we go out with fear. Even as I am here and I'm even afraid because anything can happen at any time. So the security is not really there. It's not really there.
The security generally in the country in the year 2022 was so bad. A lot of insecurity here and there. And when traveling out of maybe within the Nigerian roads, you continue to entertain fear. In fact, throughout the year, it was so bad.
Whenever I have to embark on journey, because if you are embarking on journey, you can't say whether you are going to arrive your destination safely or not. So I can say, from my own perspective, we need to work on the security situation in this nation.
They, however, showed signs of high expectations from the security agencies, even as the new year begins.
We are expecting that this new year, we want to see that there is security to our life and every Nigerian, that we are safe in all sectors of our economy.
We say they should beef up more securities everywhere, especially on the road. There's checkpoints everywhere, all the states, even here in Abuja. Every day they kidnap. I think they should beef up the security.
All we need is bring intelligence apparatus everywhere. Let there be men like the FCT used to be. I've been in FCT for over 40 years, and there in FCT, here in FCT, those days you are afraid of the next person. You don't know who is close to you. So let there be serious implementation of, men on ground. Places like outside the suburb, nothing can happen within the town. But in the suburbs, place security. That is the track where they come in.
Let me start my own advice from the police. Police they should stand firm, face their work, do their work diligently. They should stop collecting bribe. One day, they will carry their mama past checking points, and they will just collect their coins and go. On a serious note, I'm telling you. So they should be diligent in their work. They should stand firm. No bribing, nothing. Me, I always say them, if you know this work we are doing is not paying you, resign. Let another person take the job. We have many people that are looking for this work.
On the state of security in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, some of them said it's better when compared to how it was before.
The security in FCT last year was quite better than the previous years. I think the fact being that it's the Federal Capital Territory, so the security in Abuja, I can say, is a little bit better than the previous years.
Secretariat here, in fact, the security is a little bit okay. We don't entertain any fear here. Every day we do come to work and we do our work. There has never been any problem here.
To strengthen the security situation in the Federal Capital Territory, the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 7, covering Niger State and the FCT, AIG Kayode Egbetokun, visited the headquarters of the FCT Command to address officers and men while charging them on better policing, which is in line with the vision of the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba.
We must reinvigorate, stop and search, effectively man black spots that have been identified, and sustain the present tempo in raid of criminal hideouts. Scavenging has been proscribed by the FCTA. We must not allow them to continue to operate. We must engage the local communities more in the policing of the communities. We must work together, and in agreement, we must restore professionalism back in the force. I expect the command to intensify stop and search operation devoid of extortion. We must also ensure efficient utilization of resources at our disposal. We must build public confidence.
Earlier, while welcoming the AIG, the Commissioner of Police FCT Command, CP Sadiq Abubakar, placed the commitments of the officers and men of the FCT Command to the security of the FCT.
I hereby reinstate the unalloyed dedication of myself, my team, to ensuring that the impact of the policies and operational directives of the AIG, and by extension, the IGP, is vigorously pursued within the command for the achievement of the policy mandate of the Nigerian Police Force.
To further find out how prepared the FCT Police Command, led by CP Sadiq Abubakar, is to ensuring the security of lives and properties of residents of the FCT, Security Watch Africa had an exclusive interview where he told us what he intends to do differently to ensure a more secured FCT.
From the day I took over to today, we have employed a lot of strategies that has earned us a lot of successes. Recently, we could see that some armed robbers were arrested, and through interrogation, we were able to arrest many more and recovered a lot of exhibits. The banditry that has been happening around the border between Niger State and FCT, precisely around Abaji and Yaba, we are also on top of the situation because about 37 people were rescued and have already been reunited with their families. There is also the problem of scavengers, where people are apprehensive. We've already put plans, and the plans are working. We have arrested many and charged to court, and most of the manholes, the covers that have been stolen, were recovered. And I want to use this opportunity to inform the people living in the Federal Capital Territory that we are doing our best, and there is a lot of control as far as crime and criminality is concerned. They should feel free, and they should come to us with any valuable information that will aid the arrest of these criminals.
He also gave out his phone numbers for residents of the FCT to reach him in case of emergencies.
The police has already given out numbers. For long it has been on circulation. But at the same time, my number can be an addition. 080-34 534775. You can call me 24 hours. There will be a response. And I'm happy to also say our response unit to distress calls have changed from 10 minutes to only 5 minutes. If you call within 5 minutes, we shall be there.
Ernest Enuneku, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Yeah, like the Commissioner of Police did say, the police has improved on their response time, especially in the Federal Capital Territory, and every other command must also sit up and ensure that in case of any eventuality, the police will be there to provide service to the Nigerian people. And just following what the AIG Kayode Egbetoku did say, the need for stop and search and regular raids of black spots is very, very important, so that those miscreants who want to foment trouble in the society will be taken away and put where they belong. It's very, very important. In the Federal Capital Territory, particularly, that is in Abuja, a lot of people are complaining about those the scavengers, popularly known as Babambola, that they are really causing a whole lot of mayhem in the city. We expect that the police will sit up and ensure that these people are rounded up and taken away from the streets. All over the Federation, we believe that the 2023 will be much better in terms of security for Nigerians. There are fears in various places, but as the election is coming closer, just less than 50 days, especially I think 44 days to the presidential election itself, there may be some challenges in area of security, but we expect that security forces will sit up and ensure that Nigerians do not have the sense of fear around them. Until we come away again next week, it's been a pleasure bringing this program to you today. You can follow us on all our social media platforms, comment or send us questions so that we can take it up and like or send your views via our email that is also on the screen. Until we come away again next week, I say thanks for staying tuned and bye for now.